Jimmy Caputo, come on up here, Jimmy. Vinny Velez, come on up here. Boston the Hitman was done by Anthony Aquisno. He's not here tonight. But if you have any questions about Boston the Hitman, you can ask me. I'm the boss. And we got Jimmy Caputo, director of Mob Ghost. Where are you, Jimmy? Right here. And we got Vinny Velez, director and writer of Mob Ghost, and director and writer of Father Forgive Me, and star. Wait. Is Jeff, you up here? Jeff, get over here, the ghost hunter. You're here. He used to be in the Ghost Hunter. He's a bullshit artist. So, wait. This one that works too? Check. You guys can share that. This is Jeff Langer. Jeff is also in debt to taxes, so you'll see him again. Any questions? Just raise your hand and we'll point to you. You can ask a question about any of these projects you just witnessed. Nobody? All right, let's go. Nobody? No questions? Right there.
On the Mob Ghost, how did you guys get it to vibrate? Does it just seem like just shake the lamps off?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Jeff and I, we just started shaking things off camera, moving things around, and then that other shot where it's just them fumbling around, we just shook the camera. So it's just very easy camera trickery.
No CGI or anything.
No, there wasn't a bit of CGI in that. Ooh-hoo.
My gunshot wounds? They healed up pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny, Father Forgive Me was the only one where you weren't in your underwear.
I know. I get paid big money to be in my underwear.
That's my only critique. I think he could have been in his underwear. He's crying, can't find his pants, you know.
It's in my contract. Every comedy, I gotta be in my underwear.
Yeah. I'm gonna be his new manager. I'm gonna make sure there's underwear. No nudity, just underwear. The tighter the better.
Anybody else? Come on, don't be shy. Right there.
What was the most challenging part of your respective films to like shoot or put the logistics?
Being alive, that's always the hardest thing. No, honestly, with Mob Ghost, the thing is, when you're making a film, and I know a lot of filmmakers can agree, is that there's always going to be something that goes wrong. There's always going to be setbacks and things like that. So we had to reschedule a bunch of things. The biggest thing for Mob Ghost was day one, there was a miscommunication as to who was going to come and bring sound equipment and do the sound for the film. And that person couldn't show up for the day. So instead of losing the day, I just shot all the stuff that didn't require sound. So him taking out the book, Jeff and I shaking the lamp, making it all crazy and things like that. So it's a problem-solving thing with filmmaking. So I'm sure you can attest to that.
As a director, 90% of your job is to solve problems.
Yep.
That's 90% of your job.
Death, taxes, and problems.
Mob Ghost actually won Best Short Comedy for the Scene Film Festival. Was it last year?
Yeah, it was
last year. So they did win an award.
Yeah. And then Paul was nominated for Best Actor in the Houston Horror Film Festival.
That's right.
So that was good. He's not here. He's
not
not with us.
I know what the hardest thing was for Father Forgive Me. The hardest thing for Father Forgive Me was actually filming at a church. Because you see the subject matter isn't exactly PG. So getting approval, we had to get a church that wasn't active and that was still...
That whole town wasn't active.
The whole town, we took over Fort Plain, New York. It was great.
I want to live there. It's great.
The police force was involved, obviously, because there was a fake shooting in town, so it was kind of a big deal. And they closed down streets, they did the whole thing. And for our budget that we had, which was next to nothing, it was like, thank God we actually got this thing done. I don't know how we did it. We probably shot 4 days of filming in like 1.5
Like
We
2
were,
days.
that fight scene, matter of fact,
Like 3 in the morning.
it was like, yeah, it's like 2 in the morning, out in an alleyway, and everybody was like asleep. But we had to get pumped up and do this fight scene. It was crazy. No choreography,
I
no
was
nothing.
sleeping.
We're not stuntmen. We didn't have a stuntman on set. It was crazy. So, yeah, and poor John there. He said, John, who plays, he's like 2 feet taller than me. So it's like, we got to make this seem realistic. So yeah, it was very interesting. But the hardest thing for Father Forgive Me was just getting the location. Once we had that squared away, we took it over for a day and a half and made it happen. And that's what you got to do.
We were the hottest thing in that town in like 25 years. I think the population is like 2,000. Like, it was so
pretty good.
deserted. A lot of Amish people were driving around in that place.
Yeah. Then we had a guy the guy on the street.
Oh, the
It's on-
crackhead?
yeah.
Yeah, some crackhead.
He
Every
wouldn't-
time we tried to film, he would just start dancing and singing.
Yeah. He's like
We should've
blasting
filmed
like
him.
Motley Crue and shit like that. And
Yeah.
we're like, we can't license Motley Crue for this film, so how the hell are we gonna do this?
I was like, we can probably kill him. Nobody will even notice.
So it was good stuff. Yeah, you never quite know what you're gonna run into when you show up on a location. Like for what was it for Charles Street?
Yeah.
As soon as you start filming, it's like every drill, chainsaw,
Everything.
everybody's got to mow their lawn at that
You
very
got
moment.
a question?
So not a question, but the fight scene I thought was really well done because I think somebody really did take a real hit.
Yeah.
It looked to me like it really made a good
Thank you. I had
It
to-
worked.
See, at that point, I was trying to show the lighter side of Sonny, but that was a side that he just you get to see his dark side there. And although he's trying to avenge this killing of this kid, it's just he's not. There's no good place that he goes to. So. Yeah, but the bad guys are searching for God, and the good guys are unfortunately doing bad things. So yeah, but I'll give it for Hitman. Yeah, Mob Ghost. Thank you.
I guess as a performer, the toughest part of Mob Ghost, memorizing the Latin, which as far as I know is absolute nonsense. Yeah, I had that book. Jimmy let me keep the book. I was like, oh, Jimmy, hey, I could use this as a journal or a notebook. I've done neither of those things with it. And it's never occurred to me to write it down. So me putting my head in the book and going, oh, Latin's not my strong suit. Not acting. I actually forgot the line there. But Jimmy's a maestro and kept it in. So yeah, but just so much fun. Shaking a lamp with Jimmy. Interpret that how you will. Was a whole lot of fun on that set. Oh, and then the pipes in your apartment were just ringing. Yeah, the second night we ended up shooting, it was like 5 degrees outside. It was like the middle of January in 22, and Jimmy's upstairs neighbors must be very clean. They took like half a dozen showers over the course of 3 hours.
Oh, every time we wanted to film, the shower would go on.
Yeah. And we're like sitting in the living room, just like speaking in hushed tones.
I was
waiting
gonna go
for
knock
the
his door
water to
down, too,
stop,
man.
and then we start again. Like what probably should have been a 3-hour shoot was like 6 because of those people washing themselves. I don't
Or
know.
the toilet kept flushing.
Yep.
Right?
Actual Mob Ghost.
It was like quiet. They were like, all right, let's go, action, fast. And then the toilet going flush.
We'd be like sitting down.
That sucked.
We'd be like sitting down and talking, and then we just realize, oh wait, the water's going. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like playing cards.
that's the fun of it.
We weren't playing cards.
Any other questions? I can't see if anybody's back there raising. Shout it out.
I think
Go ahead, you got a question, shout it.
So I was wondering if, and I hope it's not too personal, what your, how you guys change at all, because the characters that you played in Father Figure, I'm wondering if it instills like more empathy or understanding just in dealing with the complexity that everybody from everyday people to priests kind
Was that directed to me?
Anybody, I don't know. Does it change you when you channel those?
Oh, you mean like you change, like what your mindset?
Did you learn anything about yourself or like, I don't know?
Well, definitely I find comedy a lot easier because I'm such a funny bastard. And but drama is definitely harder. And a lot of people tell you comedy's harder, actually.
Yeah.
I think a lot of dramatic actors can't do comedy. I think I can do both, but I find the drama harder. Like that scene when I had to drink the wine and then confess to God, and that was really hard. I had to like really.
You had to go to a place.
Wasn't that brilliant though? It was. Didn't he?
Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
When we were on set and that was happening, we had, by the way, right before that, we had such a hard day. It was like nothing was going right. You know, it was like, no, we had 3 hours of just trying to, what we thought was going to be done in about 10 minutes. Right before that, a 3-hour block where we just could not get things right. And then that scene. And we sat down with Nick, and he had his method. He's got his method to get into that mindset.
Yeah, I needed to be alone for a little while.
Yeah, when he delivered that, everybody in the room was like, I'm not crying. You're not crying. It's you. It was seriously so powerful. We gave him a standing ovation in the room. So I think that he really delivered for that. It really, for me, makes the film. It was great.
Yeah, to get to that point, I actually had to think of, you have to think of things that happen in your life. And I just thought of like a situation with one of my kids. And that's what kind of brought me there. You know, so you have to get into a really mindset for that. Especially for the drama, stuff like that. The comedy stuff is easy. So I can do that in my sleep, you know. But yeah, the drama is definitely, I definitely want to do more. Definitely want to do more drama. Did I answer the question? I hope. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
So I want to know, anybody that isn't Italian,
Yeah.
not get that on, right? You got to be Italian to get.
Nah, I don't think so.
You can bring together any culture. I think the story's told. Yeah. I think the story's told. Yeah, I can bring together all cultures.
No, listen,
But obviously it
there's
is
two
Italian
people in
culture.
this world. Italians and those who want to be Italian. So they all got it. They all got it, all right?
I have an answer to that. So, I did keep that in mind when I was coming up with Mob Ghost. Is I have to balance something of like a cheesy horror thing from like 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s, but at the same time kind of sprinkle in the mob and Italian stuff. So I feel like there are some things where it's like, oh, that's just for the Italian people, and then other things where it's just like, okay, he's just this crazy mob guy. Everybody knows, oh, it's a mobster, you know, and he comes out and does this thing. So it was a bit of a challenge, but I did keep that in mind. So hopefully a lot of people who aren't Italian can be like, oh yeah, you know, that's good. Yeah. But if you're Italian, you also go, oh yeah, that's good. It's all right. Enough of that.
Any non-Italian questions? No. Anybody? Oh, yeah, we got another one?
I was wondering if there was any like ideas or potential plot threads that had to go on the cutting room floor, like anything you wanted to sort of elaborate that you lack the time.
Oh, I have one. There was one I cut out for kind of pacing and timing. They were gonna go to the liquor store. Like, yeah, remember that? He goes, all right, come on, I'll take you to the liquor store. And then he goes, oh wait, it's Sunday, the liquor store is closed. And then that's when you say, oh, do you have any booze in the fridge? And it cuts. So I thought that was funny, but I'm just looking and I'm like, you know, it's kind of weighing down the pacing, so it worked better. So that hit the cutting floor.
How about you? Do you have anything that you cut out? Or did you want to make that a feature or no? What were you thinking, Ben?
I mean, once we made it, once we had it, I got a lot of people telling me, you should have just made that a feature. We could have done this, we could have done that. But even more so than having something on the cutting room floor, because we did cut there was a scene by a bridge that was dramatic with shouting and with all different kinds of things, and it just didn't, you know, when you see something in the sequence of something and it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We cut that out. But even more so than that, Nick originally was not going to play the priest. Yeah, so personnel changes, it's funny, it changed the movie. It made it, there was a much, I mean, I don't want the actor who was originally supposed to play it, but it was an upgrade, let's say. Little funny things like that, casting things where somebody can't do something at the last moment.
Yeah.
You know, Nick was going to play a different character and said, all right, hey, can you step up to this? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to play that. But then he had a friend, right? You had
the original role was like a couple of lines or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like 3 days before the shoot, and like, hey, you want to be the priest now?
Yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
okay.
if someone can deliver, they can deliver. And that's what's so great about having like a film community, because you know people. Like, you know, you go to events like this, you see somebody on the screen, like, I knew Nick could deliver like that, even if he knew, even if he didn't know, you know. So that was the big thing that happened with Father Forgive Me.
Now, was that back-to-back, Montrose and Father Forgive Me?
What do you mean?
Did you shoot that back-to-back?
I think it was in the same year. Yeah.
Because I think you wrapped Montrose and then you Father
And then I did Father Forgive Me. Yeah. And then Boston and Hitman, he's not here, Anthony, but that was done on an iPhone. And it was just supposed to be the one short episode. If you go online to YouTube, there's an episode 2. So you can see an episode 2 of the Boston Hitman. And his plan is to, he's still looking for financing. He wants to make that a series. He's hoping to make that like a 6-episode series. So that, you know, if anybody has money, let's contact him. No, but hopefully it'll happen. He's talking to a couple of people right now. So.
It's amazing what you can do on an iPhone now.
And that's the thing, yeah.
It's crazy.
That's it. You can do a lot without money. Like a lot of these projects were like no money or small budgets. But it's amazing when you work on something big. Like I just did a feature, and if you don't have the money, it's tough. It's tough to do it because you want people to do it. You want to pay the actors. You want to pay the crew. You want to feed everybody. You know, and a lot of the times people come on board on these projects because they believe in them. You know, they like the script, they like the character, and they want to do it. So that's what's great about the film community. And like working with him, and then I met Jeff, and then Jeff ended up in my project. And that just goes on and on like that, like it snowballs. So that's it. That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for Vinny about your writing process. It was a true story, a real event, right? Based on real event?
No.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, so
He made you believe that.
Yeah. Mock thing. I know. I'm actually.
Everybody's Googling these names.
I know. I'm watching the end. I'm like, should I have included this? I don't know. Is this too much? Is this too much? It's funny. You know, as a creator, you always like, do I want to change this? I was literally sitting there with everybody like, oh, should I have said all that? But I had the story. It was more. There's more to the story than I could have shown there with the short film. And as far as the writing process, it was crazy. One of the actors in this, his name is Gio. Way back in the day, he said, I want to make a movie. He's like a crazy man. So he's just like, I want to make a movie. I want to do it tomorrow. Like I want this. I was like, I think we could do something like that, but I'm not going to write like a stereotypical like, you know, mob thing because they've been overdone and whatever. Let's do something different. You know, he's like, I don't care. So I wrote this thing in 2 days, and I never really edited it that much. I just was so driven to make it happen. And in the last few days, I changed a couple things around because I had a couple personnel changes. But after I saw it, I was like, holy crap, what did I actually like say with this film? Like, what was coming out of my head? You know, is it like, I guess I had to soul search for like, okay, you know, what am I searching for? You know, it's funny, as a writer, you sometimes don't even realize what you're writing. You know, that's why sometimes it's not even worth interpreting. It's like, let somebody else tell you what the hell you said. You know, so I feel like that's what happened with this film, and the rest, the end things, that was part of my story and part of my I wanted to give the audience. I didn't want to leave it with him just getting drug away at the church and being like lost in that moment. I wanted to give a little bit of that extra, you know. And maybe someday there will be a feature film, you know, redone. But yeah, that was my writing process. Thanks for asking.
All right, so we're gonna take just like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start up Death or Taxes, which is also very Italian, to let you know.
More Italian questions. But if you're not Italian, can you watch it?